Hi folks, and welcome back to Real Kitchen Projects. Today's project is a small kitchen in a working stable, believe it or not. The reason I chose this kitchen for today's video is because this kitchen has a unique feature. It needs to be able to store saddles for the horses. It needs a washer, a dryer, and a full bath. Plus, the existing window, where I would like to center a sink, is kind of close to the corner, and it becomes a design challenge. So let me show you how I handle these issues. Let's go. Okay, so here you have the existing space. We have the window on the right, and it's pretty close to this corner, like I was saying earlier. The existing sink is on this location. We're going to move it over to this side. Here is the powder room. It's going to be converted into a full bath. And to the left of that is going to be a washer and dryer. So here are some of the issues that we have to deal with. All of this existing plumbing needs to remain. This feeds water to all of the horses outside. Each valve goes to a separate fountain in each corral. These little house-shaped units here support the saddles when they're not in use. They come in and they hang the saddles on these little stands. So this room is heated and treated for that. So that's another issue that we have to deal with. Hi folks, and here we have the actual floor plan for the kitchen. And I'm going to show you quickly why I didn't use a typical sink base in front of the window with the blind corner. I would need at least a 27-inch sink base. That's a pretty small sink base cabinet. Plus, I would need a filler in between the cabinet and the blind. Plus, you need to pull the blind corner away from the wall at least 3 inches. So after all said and done, after you did all that, all I would have left is 42 inches between the cabinet and the wall. We're going with a 24-inch range, which means we're only left with an 18-inch base after that. So I wasn't 100% happy with that idea, so I decided to go in a different route. Let me show you what I actually did. Okay, so instead of going with the blind and the typical sink base, I went and I used a diagonal sink base cabinet. It's a nice sized cabinet, plenty of storage for a little kitchen like this. You'll still have the view from the window, and I think it solves a lot of our problems. So let's go ahead and pop that one in there. There you have it. Diagonal sink base in the corner. Still have your view. Remember folks, we're dealing with some plumbing that needs to remain and a mini split in this project. So the distance between the plumbing and the wall is 97 inches minus a 30-inch refrigerator, keep in mind. So it's a very tight space. Now that I put the diagonal sink base in the corner, I am left with 13.5 inches to the right of the range, 13 and 15/16 to the left of the range. We're using a 24-inch range. And keep in mind, in the real world, when you're doing a real kitchen, these numbers may vary a little bit because we're dealing with wood, crooked floors, crooked walls. When you're working on a computer, it's spot on, it's straight as an arrow. So in a real world kitchen, these numbers may vary. So don't expect exact numbers when you're on site. So the next cabinet to the right of the range, I put a 12-inch base. And you have it there. And to the right of that base, I have an 1.5 inch gap. Let's put an 1.5 inch filler. There you go, solves that issue. Also, it gives you a nice little buffer between the diagonal door and the adjacent cabinet here. It's always good to have a little bit of a filler in this case. Next here I have 13 and change. I used a 12-inch drawer base. Same principle, 12 inches, a filler here. That'll fill that gap. going to be a little bit bigger. So now we split the filler in two parts, so you don't have this one large 3 and change filler at the end. I don't like putting cabinets directly up against the wall. Things tend to rub, the wall can be off, and it's just good practice to put a little filler between the wall and the cabinet. Remember, we're working with 3-inch increments. So if I had a 15-inch cabinet, there would be no room. So that's why I split the filler in two. And this way you don't have a big solid piece of wood there. Okay, moving along. To the right side of the sink, we have roughly 30 inches. So I put a 15-inch cabinet. I also used a 15-inch trash cabinet to end the run. Next to the fridge, we're not going with a panel or a cabinet above. The client didn't want that. So for this little kitchen, the base section, this is all we're going to have. Let me show you a quick perspective here of what it's going to look like. So there you have it. Let me lighten this up a little bit for you. Actually, I'll use so there's the perspective for the base section of this project. Here's your filler, 3-drawer base, 24-inch range, 12-inch base, full height door for the diagonal sink cabinet. This block here represents all of your plumbing. Here is your mini split, and here is your window. Okay, the next portion of this video will show you the wall section and how I handle that. So remember folks, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. It helps the channel and I really appreciate it. So on to the wall section. Okay, so here we go with the wall section for the little kitchen. It's going to be pretty simple. It's just 3 cabinets. Remember, this kitchen is really small. It's a working kitchen in a stable. So the first cabinet I'm going to use is a 12-inch cabinet right above the base. The next cabinet is going to be a 24. It's going to be sitting above the hood. We'll fix that. And the last cabinet, another 24-inch cabinet. Here's the cabinet above the hood. Fix that there in a jiffy. Now the client wants some floating shelves. So this is the spot where the floating shelves are going to go. To the left of this is the space, and we're going to fill that with a filler. Put a wall filler here. Here it is. Pop it in. And what I like about this is you have a 12-inch door, 2 12-inch doors making up 24, and 2 more 12-inch doors. So all of my doors are the same size. I don't like kitchens where you have multiple different door sizes. I just think it's just bad design. It's kind of wonky. You need to be consistent with all of your doors. Okay, so to represent some floating shelves, I'll just use a quick obstacle here for representation. Oop, a little too big. There we go. And I can make this block. This is just for graphical reasons. The depth is 12. I'll just make the height. A 2-inch floating shelf will be nice. And the width, we'll keep it at 18. So there you have it. We'll get about 3 shelves. You can put your coffee cups there in the morning, some plates, extra storage, and easy access. And we can put these wherever we want. Center here and up and down. And then to top it all off, we'll put some little piece of molding on top of that, top of the wall cabinets. I'll just put a molding for now. And here you have it. I'll show you an elevation. I'll just, it'll look a little bit better in hidden lines. So there you have it. Your range, 2 base cabinets, same size width, 12-12, diagonal sink base, 24-inch wall cabinet, 24-inch wall cabinet, and a 12-inch wall cabinet. See how all the doors are the same width. That's what you want. You don't want all different sized doors. It's not going to look good. Here are your floating shelves. And on this side for the elevation, here's your fridge, your 2 base cabinets to the left, and your window. Remember, this represents all of the plumbing that needs to remain. This mini split is staying. So there you have the base section and the wall section for this small kitchen in the stable. Let me shoot a perspective for you so you see the whole thing. If you want, I'll even throw in a countertop for you really quickly here. And a toe kick material. There you have it there. I'll even put it in a sink for you. How about that? Here's the view. So you come in, your washer and dryer unit's going to go here. This is going to be your bathroom. All of the saddles will be hung here and on this wall. And you have yourself a nice little working kitchen with a window, plenty of counter space. Plenty of counter space here. You have your trash, your refrigerator, some floating shelves. Very nice working kitchen for a small crew in a stable. Well, folks, that'll do it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, if you're in need of a more personal approach on a kitchen project that you're working on, please feel free to visit my website. The link is in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe, and more importantly, have a great day.